Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in every life when time stops, a moment so dangerous that it can either break you or wake you. A moment where God silently watches what you choose next. And that moment is not when you fail, it's when you stop fighting. Tonight, I want to talk to you about the most dangerous moment in life, and listen to me carefully. It's not when you lose everything. It's not when people walk away from you. It's not even when life throws storms at you. The most dangerous moment in life is when your heart goes quiet, your dreams stop speaking, and you make peace with the life you were never meant to live. That silent surrender, that moment when you say, maybe this is enough, maybe I should stop trying, Tiat, is when you step away from the path that God designed specially for you. Because the world doesn't destroy you. Giving up on yourself does. And today I am here to tell you, wake up, rise up. God didn't bring you this far to watch you settle. The most dangerous moment in life is the moment you stop believing in your own potential. Because the day you stop believing, the world stops believing too. It doesn't happen suddenly. It creeps in slowly, quietly, like dust settling on a mirror. At first you still recognize yourself. You still see your dreams. You still feel that fire inside you, but gradually doubt begins to whisper, fear begins to tighten its grip, and your own reflection begins to blur. You wake up one morning and the voice that once said, I can do this, has turned into a trembling whisper saying, maybe I'm not good enough. That transformation, that silent moment of surrender is the most dangerous moment of all, because belief is not just a word. Belief is the oxygen of possibility. When you stop believing in your potential, it's like cutting off your own air supply. You start walking slower, thinking smaller, and settling for less. And the saddest part is you don't even notice it happening. Think of a student who once aimed to be top of the class. They studied hard, dreamed big, imagined their name on the honor list. But then after a few tough tests, after seeing others do better, after hearing someone say, you're not like them, they quietly lower their expectations. They begin to study just enough to pass, not enough to excel. They tell themselves, this is fine. At least I'm passing. And without realizing it, they abandon the greatness they were capable of. Or think of a person who wanted to start a business. They spent weeks planning, imagining, dreaming. Every detail was clear in their mind. But then someone laughed. Someone said, do you really think you can do this? Someone's careless words planted seeds of doubt. And that potential entrepreneur, once full of ambition, begins to shrink their dream. They say, maybe I should wait. Maybe it's too risky. Maybe it's not for people like me. Every maybe becomes a wall between them and the life they could have lived. And one day, they look back and wonder how they went from dreaming to simply surviving. This is what happens when you stop believing in your own potential. You don't just lose confidence. You lose opportunities. You lose moments that were meant for your growth. You lose parts of yourself that you never even got the chance to meet. It is like having wings, but convincing yourself you cannot fly because someone on the ground told you the sky was too high. Potential is not measured by where you stand. It is measured by how far you can rise. And every human being, every single one, has a height they were designed to reach. Look at your daily life. Look at people around you. You will see that the ones who succeed are not always the smartest, the strongest, or the most talented. They are the ones who refused to stop believing. They faced failures. They didn't let the failures erase their identity. They got rejected, but they didn't let rejection redefine their worth. They were doubted by others, but they didn't allow that doubt to kill the belief they had in themselves. Because when you carry belief, you walk differently. You talk differently. You decide differently. You begin to live with purpose instead of fear. Think of how a small fire burns. If you keep feeding it even small pieces of wood, it keeps growing. But the moment you stop feeding it, it doesn't vanish instantly. It fades slowly. It weakens. It loses its glow. Your potential works the same way. As long as you feed it with belief, hope, and discipline, it grows. It becomes brighter, stronger, unstoppable. But the moment you stop feeding it and allow doubt to take over, your fire doesn't die in one day. It dies silently, slowly, painfully. And the tragedy is that people often stop believing right before their breakthrough. A little more effort, A little more patience, a little more faith in themselves could have taken them to the turning point of their life. But they gave up because they couldn't see the progress happening beneath the surface. Just like a seed buried in the soil. For weeks, nothing happens. No sign, no growth, no movement. But deep under the ground, the seed is fighting, pushing is strengthening, preparing. If it stops pushing, it dies. If it keeps going, it breaks through the earth and touches sunlight. This is your potential too. What you can become is already inside you. But you must believe long enough for it to rise. So when life gets tough, when you fail, when people doubt you, when the world tries to put limits on your dreams, remind yourself of this one truth: your potential is God-given. And as long as you believe in it, nothing and no one can stop you. You were not created to live small. You were not designed for average. There is greatness hidden inside you waiting to be activated. But it activates only when you decide to believe again. Because belief is not something you have, it is something you choose. And the day you choose to believe in your own potential again, that is the day your life begins to rise. Dangerous is the moment when comfort becomes your cage, because comfort has a beautiful face but a deadly intention. Comfort feels warm, familiar, safe, easy. But behind that softness lies a silent trap. It is the place where dreams go to sleep. It is the place where potential stops growing. It is the place where life becomes routine instead of meaningful. And the worst part is that most people don't even realize when comfort starts controlling them. It doesn't chain you suddenly, it whispers slowly. It convinces you that what you have is enough, even when your heart knows you were made for more. Look around you. Most people wake up every morning, repeat the same routine, go through the same motions, follow the same patterns. Not because they don't want a better life, but because the comfort of the known feels safer than the risk of the unknown. That comfort becomes such a soft prison that you don't feel the walls closing in until years pass and you realize you never truly lived, you just existed. Comfort is dangerous because it demands nothing, but it also gives nothing. It promises peace, but it steals progress. It promises safety, but it kills strength. It promises stability, but it suffocates ambition. Think about a person who has a job they don't like, but they stay in it year after year, not because it fulfills them, but because it's comfortable. The salary is enough to survive. The routine is familiar. The work is predictable. And so they stay. They don't apply for better opportunities. They don't learn new skills. They don't explore their passion because comfort has convinced them that it's safer to stay where they are. But inside them, every day, something cries out. You were meant for more. That silent cry is the sound of a dream dying slowly in the arms of comfort. Or think about someone who wants to get healthier. They know they need to exercise. They know they need to change their habits. But the comfort of staying in bed, the comfort of eating what tastes good, the comfort of doing nothing always wins. And one day they look in the mirror and realize they are carrying the weight of all the choices comfort convinced them to make. Because they were weak. But because comfort is powerful, comfort tells you you can start tomorrow. And tomorrow becomes next week, next month, next year. Comfort steals your future one small decision at a time. Even relationships suffer because of comfort. People stay in friendships that drain them, relationships that hurt them, environments that limit them simply because they are familiar. They fear the discomfort of being alone, the discomfort of starting over, the discomfort of facing truth. And so they choose the comfort of pain over the discomfort of growth. But what they don't realize is that staying in the wrong place is far more painful than leaving it. Comfort creates an illusion that you are safe, but all the while your soul is shrinking, your joy is fading, your purpose is suffocating. Comfort is dangerous because it doesn't feel dangerous. Fear feels dangerous. Failure feels dangerous. Rejection feels dangerous. But comfort feels harmless. And that is exactly why it stops people from rising. The moment you choose comfort over challenge, you stop growing. Growth only happens when you stretch yourself, when you face discomfort, when you move outside the boundaries of what you already know. Every successful person you admire has one thing in common. They chose discomfort repeatedly. They chose to push themselves even when it was tiring. They chose to be disciplined even when it was difficult. They chose to take risks even when fear screamed at them. Imagine a seed planted in soft soil. If it stays comfortable beneath the ground, it will never break out, never push through the dirt, never struggle upward, never face sunlight. But the moment it chooses discomfort, the moment it pushes, breaks, cracks, fights its way through, that is when it becomes a tree. The seed's growth demands discomfort. So does yours. Your dreams require discomfort. Your greatness requires discomfort. Your transformation requires discomfort. Comfort may feel good, but it will never take you anywhere. People often wait for a sign, a push, a dramatic moment to change their life. But real change begins the day you say, I am done.